Good evening, everybody. This is Robert from RJL 518, welcoming you here to Comiskey Park. This is Payoff Pitch. The 1985 season continues. Today's date is June 19, and we've got the Oakland Athletics taking on the Chicago White Sox. Steeler fan 1933, of course, is thrust through the turnstiles. He will be providing the food and the drink for tonight. The Athletics come into this game 2 games under 500. They are 30-32, but very much in the playoff hunt. The White Sox are at 500, 29-29. The last time we saw the White Sox, let's have a look here. Let's see what we got here. The last time we saw the White Sox, they went ahead and stole a game from the Mariners in the 10th inning. And it's been a while since we've done Oakland, so that's why they are the featured team tonight. So we shall see how these two teams do. We got 2 lefties on the mound. Don't get that often, so should be fun. So let's see what we got. Starting pitcher for the 85 White Sox is Britt Burns. He was 18-11 with a 3.96 ERA. Very capable pitcher. So he gets the call tonight. Taking on the Athletics in those wonderful green and gold uniforms, which is one of the reasons why I do like the A's as a team as a fave of mine, one of the faves, because I love the unis. And this was 85, so they were actually wearing their green Oakland jerseys, but Oakland, of course, was written in blocked letters. They did not go to the script until later. So let's see what we got. We got the White Sox, of course. They're wearing those wonderful White Sox jerseys with the word Sox written across it. I always love those jerseys as well. Some of the best jerseys ever. All right, enough about jerseys. Let's play some baseball. Britt Burns is ready. Top of the first, leading off for the A's will be shortstop Alfredo Griffin. He batted .326 against lefties in 85. Let's see what we get tonight. Burns, that is a tough 10, and Alfredo Griffin leads off with a triple off of Britt Burns against the lefty. That is a 10, and that is a triple. Griffin hit 3 of them against left-handed hitters in 85, so that is a good way to start for the A's. Leadoff triple for Alfredo Griffin as he rolled that into the right field corner. Here's the third baseman, Carney Lansford, batted .237 against lefties. Historically, the White Sox won this game 8-7, so this was a high-scoring game historically. And starting with Alfredo Griffin with leading off with a triple, who knows if we might see the same thing here. Infield is going to be back. The White Sox will play for the out. It's early. Pitch from Burns, that is a tough 69, and it will be a ground ball to second base. The throw will go to first, out number 1. But Alfredo Griffin will come in and score, and so just like that, the A's jump out 1-0. Next up for the Athletics will be center fielder Mike Davis. He's in center for this game. Batted .271 against the lefts. 1 out pitch from Burns. That is a tough 60. And we got a ground ball to third. Throw goes to first for out number 2. Next up is the designated hitter, Dave Kingman. He batted .244 against lefties, had 13 home runs against the left-handed pitchers. Pitch from Burns. That is a patient 47, and Kingman's going to slap a base hit into center field. Nice straightaway single for King Kong. He will hold it first. And now we have first baseman Dusty Baker. He was 36 years old in 85. He batted .250 with 5 homers against lefts. But 2 outs now. Kingman on at first. The pitch from Burns. And that is a tough 44. And we got a ground ball right back to Burns. He will throw to first and get the out. 1 run on a couple of hits by the A's, already taking a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the first inning. Starting pitcher for the Athletics in this game was Bill Krueger. He was 9-10 with a 4.52 ERA, also a lefty. Getting the leadoff spot for the White Sox in this game was shortstop Scott Fletcher. He was at short for this game and a very good, when he played short, he was very good. Comiskey Park, pretty neutral. Can be a hitter's park once in a while. 1-58 for the lefty and 1-57 for the righty in wheelhouse. The pitch from Krueger starts with an in-play 0-4, and Fletcher is going to lead off with a double. Both teams starting off with extra base hits as Alfredo Griffin got a leadoff triple. Fletcher gets a leadoff double. And here we now have Tim Hewlett. He's at third base for this game. Batted .296 against the lefties. Runner on second. So now let's see if Krueger can prevent the run. That is a tough 92. It's a ground ball to short. And the throw is going to go to first. Fletcher with a run rating of 8. I will move him over to third. He is low. It is higher than the base running anyway, and he will go to third base on the out. But there is one out. Next up is Hall of Famer, right fielder Harold Baines. Baines bats .341 against lefties, so Krueger's got to pitch to him very carefully. Fletcher on at third. The A's will also play the infield back. Will not try any plays right now. It's early. Hoping Krueger can make a good pitch. That is a patient 66. And what we got here, that's a ground ball to third. And the throw will go to first to get out number 2. Fletcher will come in to score. And we're tied at 1, just like that. RBI there for Baines. And we got ones on the score all across the scoreboard. Here is the left fielder, Ron Kittle. Batted .236. Kittle usually a DH, but he is in left for this game. But 2 outs now, already tied at 1. Krueger with the pitch. Patient 95. That's a fly ball to left, and that will end the inning. 1 run for the White Sox on 1 hit, and a pretty much a runner advanced fielder's choice. At the end of 1, we're tied at 1. Top of the second coming up. Here is Mike Heath for the A's. He is in right field for this game. Batted .285 against the lefties. Pitch to Heath. Patient 20. That will be a walk. Heath will trot down to first. Burns averaged about 3.1 walks per 9. Heath with a 3 steal rating, 12 on the dice. Nothing will happen. We will see Steve Henderson. He is in left field, batted .321 against the lefties in 85. Burns with the pitch. And that's a tough 20, and that is a strikeout. Down goes Henderson. Strikeout number 1 for Burns. He averaged almost 7 per 9. Mickey Tettleton gets the call. He's the catcher. Batted .213 against the lefts. Tribe Fan 879 joins us here at Comiskey Park. Burns will pitch to Tettleton, and we got a tough 53. Just misses a single. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Tettleton's double play rating's a 7. Burns is a 7. That is a 7. Third base to second base to first base. Double play. Britt Burns gets the twin killing and retires the side. Bottom half of the second. Here is the catcher, the original Pudge, Carlton Fisk. Batted .251 against lefts. Had 9 homers against them. Pitch on the way from Krueger. Defense check 0-5. That's not going to be good. Error check to third base. Lansford is an error rating of 5. He has the best error rating, but with a 5 on the dice and a 1-27, that is going to be an error, and it will be a 1-base error. So Lansford picks it up, throws wide of the bag, and Fisk will hold at first. And that is an E5. First error on the A's. Fisk will hold at first. And the White Sox DH coming up, Tom Pachorik, batted .282 against lefties in 85. No steals or anything like that coming up. Captain Carl joins us here at Comiskey Park. As I know, Captain Carl made the trip from Nationals Park in 2019, watching baseball demos over there, and took a time machine to come back here to Comiskey Park in 1985. Pitch from Krueger. That's an in-play 49, and ground ball to third base. Did they turn it? Pachorik's double play rating's a 7, so Krueger's is a 7, and that is a 7. It's the same exact ending. Third base to second base to first base, 2 outs. Pachorik grounds out into the 5-4-3. There are 2 down now. Same result, only difference is it was only 2 outs. Here is the first baseman, Greg Walker. Walker batted .230 against lefties. Yeah, I'm bored. I'm sure your arms are tired from all that flying, and that is very, very corny, Captain Carl. Very, very corny. Very corny. Should ban you just for that joke. Pitch from Krueger. Patient 99, that's a fly ball to right easily, and Walker just flies out to right. Nothing across except an error on the A's at the end of 2. We are tied at 1. Top of the third inning. Rob Piccolo gets his call here for the A's. He is at second base for this game. Batted .323 against the lefties. Yeah, audience groans. Ugh. Yeah, that's audience groaning. Good one there, Tribe. Burns the pitch to Piccolo. And it's a tough 60. We've got a ground ball to third. Throw goes to first, out number 1. Next up, Alfredo Griffin. He tripled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Could have pulled a Deion Sanders and gotten a helicopter ride instead. Ugh. You guys in the chat, you know. Pitch from Burns. Tough 44. And this time it's a pop out to second base, and that is out number 2. Sends it straight up the chimney. And now here is Carney Lansford, who went ahead and grounded out, but got Griffin in on a run. Burns with the pitch, and that is a tough 55. It's a ground ball to third again, picked up by Hewlett, and he will throw to first. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Burns. Nothing there for Oakland. We go to the bottom of inning number 3. Leading off for the Pale Hose is Luis Salazar, batted .246 against lefties, and he is in center field for this game. Pitched from Krueger. Tough 11, and that is your swing and a miss. Struck him out. Salazar down on strikes. Krueger averaged about 3.3 strikeouts per 9. That is his first of the game. Here is Julio Cruz, second base for the White Sox today. Krueger's pitch. In play, 53. Ground ball to third, picked up by Lansford. Throws to first, out number 2. And Scott Fletcher will come up next. Fletcher hit a double his last time up and scored later. Krueger's pitch. And that is a tough 85. Ground ball to shortstop this time. Griffin throws him out. And that is another 1-2-3 inning for Krueger. So after giving up 1 run in each of the first innings, looks like the pitchers have settled down. We are tied at 1 at the end of 3. ID Jester joins us here at Comiskey Park. The General has arrived. I salute you, sir. Like to remind you of what we got coming up. Tomorrow morning, 1985 inside pitch, although I might have something to do in the morning, so that might actually be delayed till later. But inside pitch, 85, 1 and gone. The Houston Astros take on the New York Mets. And I know Steeler fan will be looking forward to that one. It will be Bob Nepper against the Doctor. And tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch, and that'll be taking care of my mom. And tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch, we have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Cincinnati Reds. So for all you Reds fans out there, your Reds are on deck for tomorrow. Or I should say on the board for tomorrow. So we got Astros against the Mets in 85, 1 and gone. And we have Reds and the Braves. Top of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Mike Davis leads off for the A's. He is 0 for 1. Burns with the pitch. Tough 0-2, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Burns. Here is King Kong Kingman. Burns with the pitch. That's a tough 30, and that is also a strikeout, and that is a called strike 3, as the ball was right at the letters, and Kingman is just going to have to hang his head and go back to the dugout. 3rd strikeout for Burns. Here is Dusty Baker. Baker 0 for 1. Pitch from Burns. Tough 23, and that is also a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Britt Burns strikes out the side. Strikeouts 2, 3, and 4. And the A's got nothing on Burns today. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 1. Bill Krueger will now try to replicate what Burns did. Tim Hewlett leads off for the White Sox. He is 0 for 1. Pitch from Krueger. Tough 97. That's a fly out to left. Easy play made there by Henderson, out number 1. Here is Harold Baines. Grounded out his last time up, 0 for 1. Pitch from Krueger. Patient 97. That's a fly out to right. And that ball is caught by Heath, out number 2. And now Ron Kittle. Krueger checks and deals. And it's a tough 31. And that is a swing and a miss. Struck him out. He does get his 2nd strikeout of the game. But it is a 1-2-3 inning. So Krueger replicates what Burns did, although Krueger had to do it a little bit more difficult. But still, a 1-2-3 inning. We are still tied at 1 at the end of 4. 5th inning coming up. Here is Mike Heath. Heath walked his last time up. Pitch coming, tough, 80, and we got a fly ball center field. Salazar will make that catch. First out. Steve Henderson will take the next bat. He struck out his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Burns with the pitch. That's a defense check. 83 should be all right. Range check to left field. The ball is hit to Kittle. His range is a D. 1 to 48 would be a hit, but that's an 83. Kittle will make the catch for out number 2. Here is Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton grounded into a double play his last time up. Pitch from Burns. Tough. 0-3. That is a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Burns. I'm sorry, for number 5 for Burns. And another 1-2-3 inning. So for a game that historically was 8-7, pitching is on par tonight. Halfway through the game, still tied at 1. The original Pudge, Carlton Fisk, will come up. Both pitchers pitching very well. Here is the pitch from Krueger. Let's see how long it goes. That is the patient 14, and that will be a walk. Fisk will trot down to first. That is the second time he's been on base. The last time Fisk got on was an error. So Fisk on at first. 4C steal rating, not on the dice. No, nothing going on. Here is Pachorik. Pitch from Krueger. Tough. 80. And that's a fly ball center field. Davis will make that catch. That's the first out. Greg Walker will take a swing. Walker is 0 for 1. Krueger with the pitch. Tough. 76. And what we got here, that's another fly ball to center. And that is taken care of again by Davis, out number 2. Salazar will take a hack. He struck out his last time up. Fisk still holding it first. And now the pitch from Krueger. And that's a patient 57. That's a ground ball to third. That's an easily picked up there by Lansford. He will throw to second to get Fisk, and that will end the inning. Nothing across except a walk for the White Sox. Tied at 1 at the end of 5. As both pitchers are doing a fine job. Unlike a couple of games ago where the final score was 17-6. If anybody would like to check that game out, please reference the game between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Baltimore Orioles on my 85 payoff pitch. The game was kind of nuts. Top of inning number 6. Rob Piccolo gets a chance in a rapidly moving ball game. Burns with the pitch. Patient 71. Ground ball to second base. Taken care of by Cruz, out number 1. Alfredo Griffin. He has a triple in this game. Here I was thinking the game was going to be high scoring, and so far we got a pitcher's duel. Britt Burns, patient 99, fly ball to left field. Out number 2, Griffin just flies it out to right, taken care of by Baines, and now Carney Lansford. Pitch from Burns, tough, 34, pop out. Into the infield, that will go to the shortstop. Caught by Fletcher, and the inning is over. 1-2-3. What will it be, as our Red Sox fan would say? At the end of 5.5, it is still 1-1. Here comes Krueger. Back on the mound, Julio Cruz leads off for the Pale Hose. Cruz is 0 for 1. Pitch coming. That's an in play, 41. Oh, Cruz just missed it. That's a ground ball to first base. Baker will take care of that, out number 1. Oh, he just missed that one. Scott Fletcher, top of the White Sox batting order. Fletcher's 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. Actually, I'm sorry, he doubled in the first inning. Krueger's pitch. Tough, 75. Fly ball, center field. Caught by Davis, out number 2. And now Tim Hewlett. Bears Den 007 joins us here at Comiskey Park. Hewlett is 0 for 2. And we got a tough 11, and that will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is strikeout number 3 for Krueger. And another 1-2-3 inning. This game is really chugging along. At the end of 6, we're still tied at 1. Who's going to break through? Top of inning number 7. Mike Davis will go up against Burns. Both pitchers have now reached their fatigue inning, but since neither of them have given up 3 runs, they'll continue going. Burns will pitch to Davis. And that is a patient 96. Fly ball to right field. Baines makes the catch. As you guys know, I'm actually trying to save my voice a little bit. Just trying to keep it a little bit where you guys can hear me clearly, but I don't want to really yell. Here is King Kong. He is 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. Burns with the pitch. Patient 99. Fly ball to left field. Taken care of by Kittle. Out number 2, getting a lot of high rolls on the dice, on the percentiles. And now Dusty Baker. Baker is 0 for 2. When you get high percentile rolls, you don't see many hits. That's the one thing about payoff pitchers is a little bit discouraging. You pretty much know by looking at the roll what the outcome is probably going to be. In inside pitch, since every card is different, you have no idea until you check the card. That is a tough by Burns, 65, and that will be a fly ball to right. And Baker flies out, and another 1-2-3 inning. At 27 minutes is maybe one of the fastest games I've had getting to the seventh inning stretch. We are at the 7th inning stretch. We are tied at 1. I will be right back. Sing your Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Bottom half of the 7th inning coming up. Again, to remind you, we have the Astros and the Mets. 1985, 1 and gone tomorrow, game number 15. Nepper against Gooden. And tomorrow night, we have the Braves and the Reds. And that game, still don't know yet of, I'm not sure of the pitching matchup, but don't worry. That Braves and the Reds should be interesting to see. Although the Braves are absolutely awful so far in this replay. And that's actually that's also the last game of my schedule block. Starting after that, I will remove the last place teams from each division. And that's where I'm going to now stop. We're now going to start only putting teams on the board that are pretty much still in the season. So now I'm going to remove, and I'm going to do my ultimate best to not have any games featuring the bottom 4. And you'll see what they are starting maybe after tomorrow. Bill Krueger will pitch. Leading off for the White Sox is Harold Baines. In the bottom of the 7th, Baines is 0 for 2. Pitch coming. That is an in-play 68. It's a fly ball to left field. That's out number 1. Lots of flyouts today. Lots of flyouts. Only a couple of grounders. Most of the games have been flyouts. Most of the outs have been outs. Here is Ron Kittle. Kittle is 0 for 2. Krueger's pitch. Tough, 85. That's going to be a ground ball, finally. It's a grounder to short, though. The throw goes to first for the second out. Nice play there by Griffin. And here is Carlton Fisk. Fisk has been on base twice by an error and a walk. Krueger's pitch. In play, 07, and he's going to be on base again. That will be a double into center field. Fisk will hold at second. Big run on second base with the way this game is going. The next run could be the winner. Here is Tom Pachorik, and he will go up against Krueger. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Fisk with a double. The pitch now to Pachorik. And that is a patient 07, and that is a walk. So now the White Sox have something going on. And that's only the second walk issued by Krueger. And here is Greg Walker. Krueger will pitch to Walker. Walker bats .230 against left, so he will hit against him. Walker is 0 for 2. See if Krueger can get out of the jam. Fans here at Comiskey would like to see something good. A win here for the White Sox once again puts them above 500. The A's are only 2 games below, but they are very much in it. The funny thing is the White Sox have 29 wins, and the A's have 30 wins. So it's kind of interesting so far how the schedule is going. Pitch from Krueger. Tough. 59, and we got a fly ball to left field, and that'll end it. Walker is flied out to right, center, and left. No runs for the White Sox. They do get a double, and we are still tied at 1 at the end of 7 between 2 pitchers that I kind of thought we'd have a high-scoring game. But sometimes the dice go differently. Top of the 8th inning. Britt Burns' fatigue inning is a 6, and we've now reached the 8th. He has pitched beautifully today. He's only given up 2 hits. But the thing about it is, he's got 3. We're now in the 8th inning. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if Burns can stay out there 1 more inning. Bullpen for the White Sox is ready to go. Pitch from Burns. Tough. 58. He continues to pitch well. That is a ground out to third. Taken care of by Hewlett. Steve Henderson will come up. Pitch from Burns. Tough. 55. That's also a ground ball to third base, taken care of by Hewlett. Throw goes to first, out number 2. Mickey Tettleton will come up now. He is 0 for 2. Tim Pepper joins us here at Comiskey Park. I usually start around this time, 7 o'clock for regular season, 8 o'clock when we go to playoffs. I'll do 8 o'clock when I'll start. Well, right now we're in a pitcher's duel here in a game that originally was 8-7 in favor of the White Sox. There were 22 hits in that game historically. I've only got 4. Here's the pitch from Burns. Patient 82, and we got a ground ball to short. The throw goes to first, and the side is retired. Another 1, 2, 3 inning between these guys. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 1. Luis Salazar leads off for the Pale Hose. He's 0 for 2. Very good pitching matchup so far between two teams. Burns at an ERA of 3.96. Krueger, 4.52. Here's the pitch from Krueger. That's an in-play 26. That's a single for Salazar. Salazar gets a base hit. He will go to first. He is now 1 for 3. And now Julio Cruz will come up to bat. He will hit. No sacrifice and no steal on the board. So Cruz will hit away. Krueger will pitch to him. Pitch on the way. That's a patient 50, and that's a walk. And now Krueger showing a little bit of an issue, as the White Sox are in business with runners in first and second and no one out. And the top of the batting order coming in Scott Fletcher. And now we will see a new pitcher. The A's are going to take Krueger out. They will go to the pen. You got 2 rights and a left coming up and no outs. So let's see who the A's will bring out. And they will come out and bring, let's see. Coming out will be Steve Ontiveros. 1 and 3 with a 1.93 ERA. Adds 10 to the tough roll. He has 8 saves. And he will now deal with Scott Fletcher. Tied at 1, bottom of the 8th inning. A big chance for the White Sox with nobody out. But now Ontiveros will take a shot. Here's the pitch to Fletcher. And that's a ballpark 89. That will be in play. In play 06 is a single for Scott Fletcher. And that is a ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances 1 base with a choice. Runner on second does score, so Salazar will come in. It's an RBI single for Fletcher. It's 2-1 White Sox. With the scoring chance, Julio Cruz has a run rating of a 9. So in order for him, and with that chance, I always keep on forgetting that one, but I do know he has a chance to move. Has the option of attempting for an extra base when actively managing the batting team. Decide if the runner, when not managing, if the runner's run rating is higher than the single D6 result, the runner will attempt to advance when the score is within plus or minus 3 runs. So Julio Cruz has a run rating of a 9, so we know he's going to try for third. The ball was hit to right field. That is Heath. His arm is a 5. So a 5 or lower, Cruz is safe. 6 to 9 is a play at the base, and 10 or higher he is out. That is an 8, and now we have that is an 8. So now we have a play at the base for runner advancement. I'll roll another one. That is a 54, and he is a possible wild play. Roll 1d6 if higher than the outfielder's E rating. That is a 3, and that was right fielder. That is Heath. His ever rating is a 2. And it's a wild, and the roll is higher. It is a wild throw. The runner is safe, and all other runners advance 1 base on the error. So Cruz is safe. Fletcher does move to second as the throw goes past third. An exciting sequence of events there, but it pretty much tunes into a single and an error, and it is now 2-1 White Sox. So that is an E9 as he threw the ball away. That is the second error on the A's. And runners at second and third. First time I've actually had something like that, but that's okay. So now it looks like the White Sox are beginning to try a chance to pull away. Here is Tim Hewlett. Hewlett is up next. Hewlett is 0 for 3 with nobody out. The A's will call the infield in this time. They do not want Cruz to score. Ontiveros will pitch. And that is a patient 0-3, and it's a walk. Hewlett trots down to first, And now the bases are loaded. For Harold Baines. Baines will bat. Ontiveros will pitch. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. The infield is still going to be in. Fans here at Comiskey already see their White Sox leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. As finally A's pitching has broken down a little bit. Ontiveros, infield in, pitch coming. That is a tough 34 with the +10, and that will be a single by Harold Baines. This is where that +10 can hurt you. Normally, this would get you into the outs, but if it was a 24, that would be a strikeout. It's +10, it's a 34, that is a single. It's a sharp liner into center field. Cruz will come in to score. Runner on second scores. Fletcher comes in to score. Hewlett advances one base. He will hold at second. And it is now 4-1 White Sox as the White Sox are now opening it up here in the late innings. Here is Ron Kittle. That will be all for Ontiveros. He can't get anybody out. Coming in to pitch now for Oakland will be Jay Howell. 9-8 with a 2.85 ERA. But the White Sox have already put 3 on the board in this inning and have yet to have an out. They still have nobody out here. Jay Howell will pitch to Kittle. Kittle is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Defense, 57. Range check to right field. The ball is hit to Heath. His range is a B. A 1 to 30 would be a hit. That's a 57. That will be a deep fly ball out. Tim Hewlett with a run rating of 7. I will allow him to go to third with 2 on the dice. And there is 1 out. Fly out to right. But the runner moves. And the batter is now Pudge. Pudge doubled his last time up. Runners at first and third with 1 out now. They will call the infield in again. Double plays could be a little bit tricky. The A's want to keep it at least a 3-run game. But the White Sox have their closer getting ready to go. Howell's pitch to Fisk. And that's a patient 34, and he walks Fisk. And once again, the bases are loaded. Fisk has now reached base all 4 times. 2 walks, a double, and an error. A chance now for the White Sox DH, Tom Pachorik. He will, and with a 162 average, I think we'll see a new batter. And since it's the designated hitter, that makes it easy. So Pachorik will come out. And let's see who they're going to have go up against. It will be Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie Guillen will take over at DH as well. He had 401 bats against righties, so he would be my first choice. This is not the 9th inning, so we go by at bats, not by average. 1 out, bases loaded. Guillen does not have many double plays. They're going to keep the infield in. Here is the pitch from Howell. And that is an in-play 38. And yes, people, that is a single. Opposite field liner into left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. So that means Hewlett will come in. Baines will come in. Fisk goes to third. Guillen to first. And in 1 inning, the White Sox have now put up 5 runs on the board. It is now 6-1. Stadium cheers. Yay! Here is Greg Walker as the A's bullpen can't get anybody out. Walker is 0 for 3. Well, the final score of the game was White Sox 8, Oakland 7. Well, right now the White Sox are two runs away from the 8. It just took 8 innings for it to happen. Runners still at first and third, 1 out. And this time they're going to call the infield back. They've had enough. Although it hasn't happened, they've been hitting them where they ain't. Here's the pitch to from Howell. That is an 8. That's a tough 0-4. And that is a steer right out. That is out number 2. Here is Salazar as the White Sox have batted around. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Howell just trying to get this inning over. And we got a tough 14. That will do it. He struck him out. And the inning finally comes to an end. White Sox put a 5 spot on the board. 5 runs, 4 hits. There was 3 walks and 1 big error. At the end of 8, the White Sox now in command, 6-1. We had pretty much 8 innings of boredom and 1 inning of complete chaos. Although it's not boring. Gotta love those pitchers' duels. Top of the 9th inning, Rob Pichillo is the leadoff batter for Oakland. Burns is going to come out. They are done. And the White Sox are not going to take any chances. They have a 5-run lead. They could probably go to a player that's not really in it. They're going to go with Gene Nelson, 10-10, 4.26 ERA, and what that does, that turned Pichillo from a 323 average into a 200 average against a righty. Pichillo is the second baseman. Let's see what Oakland wants to do. They will take Pichillo out. It's the 9th inning, so now we can go by overall average against a righty, and that batter is Charlie O'Brien. He will bat for Pichillo, and taking over at second base will be Donnie Hill in case this game goes any further. Charlie O'Brien bats .333 against rights. He only had 3 at-bats against right-handed pitching. But he is on the team. Wait a minute. Is he on the team? No, he's not on the team. My bad. Can't be Charlie O'Brien. He is not on the team. My bad. He is not available. Hold the phone, Central. He should not have been in the lineup. Hold the phone. We'll do this again. And instead, it will be Bruce Bhakti. He was on the team. O'Brien was still with, I believe, the Brewers. Bruce Bhakti will go up against Gene Nelson. Top of the 9th, 6-1. Here is the pitch. And that is a tough 25, and Bhakti leads off with a single. Will we see some 9th inning magic? There you go right there. That's a leadoff base hit. The batter now will be Alfredo Griffin, and he will hit. Bhakti on it first. Gene Nelson trying to end the game here. Pitch on the way. That's a tough 80. And we got a fly ball center field. That'll be caught by Salazar. That's out number 1. Bhakti stays at first. Here's Carney Lansford. He will hit. Gene Nelson trying to close the game out. White Sox bullpen still ready to go in case of some trouble. Pitch from Nelson. That's a wheelhouse. 64. That's a single for Lansford. That is a base hit. It's a line drive into left field. The runner will only advance 1 base. That is Lansford's first hit of the game. Here is Mike Davis. It's a 5-run lead. Now the tying run is in the hole, and they're going to let Gene Nelson pitch and try to get it done. Davis bats .293 against righties. 1 out still here in the top of the 9th. Nelson with the pitch. That's a tough 83. It's a fly ball center field. That'll be taken care of by Salazar. That is out number 2. The last chance for the A's will be Dave King Kong Kingman. He is 1 for 3 with a single. Kingman ready to bat. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here, top of the 9th. A big inning for the White Sox is the reason why they are leading. Can Kingman get the game a little closer? Pitch from Nelson. That's a wheelhouse 55. That does get a little closer as he pitches it right over the plate, and Kingman blasts a double. It's a looping liner to right field because Bhakti only has a run rating of... Actually, no, I don't need to draw the card. That's a double. So Bhakti with a run rating of 5, he scores from second anyway. Lansford with a run rating of 7, he will score from first with 2 outs. Kingman goes to second. And now it is 6-3. Double for Kingman, scores a couple of runs. The batter now is Dusty Baker. That'll be it for Nelson. The White Sox aren't going to take any more chances. So Nelson gives up a couple of runs. And coming on to close the game will be Bob James. 8-7, 2.13 ERA. Bob James will go up against Dusty Baker. Baker will hit. He batted .281 against rights. It is now 6-3 as the A's get a run in there, tying a couple of runs. The tying run is on deck, but can Baker keep the inning alive? Baker is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from James. That is a patient 28, and he walked him. And now the tying run comes to the plate. In the form of Mike Heath. And we may see a pinch hitter for him also. He batted .232. Is there anybody else I can bring in? Heath is what? Heath is my right fielder. No, actually, he's got to hit. No, he has to hit. So Heath, I can't replace him. I don't have the bat on the bench. So Mike Heath will go up against Bob James with 2 outs. Heath does have some home run power. And Bob James will pitch to him. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Fans here at Comiskey a little nervous. White Sox leading 6-3. Here's the pitch from James. And that is an in-play 70. That will do it. Ground ball to second base. Ball is picked up by Cruz. Pumps once, pumps twice. Throws to first. That's your game. White Sox beat the Athletics 6-3 as the game suddenly got very exciting in the later innings. 2 runs for the A's on 3 hits. Final line score coming up as well as 10-minute ticker, so don't go away. For the Chicago White Sox, 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors. For the Oakland Athletics, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Britt Burns does get the win. Krueger, unfortunately, takes the loss as he was charged with the runners that took the lead. And Bob James does get credit for a save. Timeout as we get ready for 10-minute ticker. Been hearing a lot of good things about Fall Classic Baseball. Tony at CP Cards and Dice really wants me to give the game a look. So I don't know. I'm thinking of maybe adding that, maybe getting a copy of it and trying it out. We'll see. For Fall Classic, I'm hearing a lot of things, good things about it. But I still love my inside pitch and my payoff pitch. Shall we play 10-minute ticker? For those of you, let's see how they do. Of course, we know the White Sox beat Oakland today. Let's see how the rest of the league featured. June 19, New York Yankees at Baltimore. That's a 6. It's a win for the Yankees. They win that game 10-5. California at Cleveland. Win for the Indians 9-2. Boston at Detroit. That's an 11. The Red Sox get that win 4-3. Minnesota at Kansas City. That's a 12. The Twins get that win 9-2. This Royals team is not doing very well. I know they won the World Series that year, but right now they are under 500. Toronto at Milwaukee. That's a win for the Blue Jays 7-5. Seattle at Texas. 2 win for the Mariners 1-0. Houston and Atlanta. I know Steeler fan waiting for this. That's a 6, a win for the Astros 5-0 over the Braves. San Diego and the Dodgers. That's a 4, a win for the Padres 4-1, as now the Dodgers are going up and down a little bit. Pittsburgh at Montreal. A 7, a win for the Expos. The Expos continue to dominate the National League East 6-4. Chicago Cubs take on the Mets. Can my Mets win a game? That's an 8. Yes, they can. They win that game 6-2. Cincinnati at San Francisco. It's an 8. That's a win for the Reds 7-2. They do take out the Giants. Philadelphia at St. Louis. That's a 4, a win for the Fightin' Phils 8-4 over the Cardinals. We now go to June 20. A 3, that's a win for the Athletics. They get a little bit of a revenge. That is 9-3 over the White Sox. California at Cleveland, that's a 9. That's a win for the Indians, 6-3. I know Tribe fan will be happy with that. New York Yankees at Detroit, a 9. The Tigers get that win, 8-3. Minnesota against Kansas City. That's a 9. That's a win for the Royals, 1-0. Seattle taking on Texas. A 9. Rangers win 6-3. Boston at Toronto. Got to play a tough game there. Got to play a tough Toronto team. And that is a 7. It's a win for the Blue Jays, 6-1. Houston taking on Atlanta. They're taking on the helpless Braves. That's an 8, though. The Braves get that win 8-5. As I know, Steeler fan will say it's rigged. Pittsburgh against Montreal. That's a 7, a win for the Expos 10-9. Chicago Cubs against my Mets. My Mets are on a little bit of a streak. Can we win a game against the Cubs? It's a 9. Yes, we can. We win that game 8-2. San Francisco at San Diego. That's a 9. That is a win for the Padres, 12-6. Finally, Philadelphia at St. Louis. That's a 5. Another win for the Fightin' Phils. They beat the Cardinals 7-1. That is all for 10-minute ticker. If your teams won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. And tomorrow we have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Cincinnati Reds in payoff pitch. Astros take on the Mets in 1985 one and gone on inside pitch. So I hope you guys will join me for that. Hopefully tomorrow morning, as far as I know. If not, don't worry. The game will be played. If I can't do it today, you never know. You never know what life can bring you. Anyway, Steeler fan, Bears Den, Tribe fan, Tim Pepper, ID Jester, Captain Carl. Thank you all for joining me tonight for some action here in Comiskey Park. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, and stay strong. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all, everyone. White Sox over the A's, 6-3. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.